First of all, welcome. Last week we left off talking about the BRRRR method. Now, what is the BRRRR method? If you didn't see the video, go ahead and click that info icon. It'll take you and watch it, but make sure to come back because today we're going to be talking about something amazing, something that I discovered, and I definitely want you to be a part of it. Last video, we actually made an action plan. We had 1, 2, 3 steps. Number 1 was to get some valuations done on the properties that we own right now. Number 2 was to start talking to banks and find a product that fits each apartment situation. Number 3 was to buy a property. Okay, that's a pretty simple list. Now, moving forward in this video, it might seem like a deviation from the previous action plan, but in reality, I realized that my action plan from the last video lacked a certain thing that is necessary for a personality type like mine. You see, I know a little bit about myself, and after years of trial and error, I know how to make myself finish a project. No, that's not my discovery, but it is related.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Glad you asked. What I really lacked was a motivation. You might be asking, but what about step 3, buy a property? Isn't that a motivation enough? And you'd be right, except one important thing. The point is, the more tangible something is, the more it feels real to you in your mind before achieving it. That's why I've surrounded my workspace with things that motivate me, things that I want to achieve. For example, on my desktop, I have a picture of a brand new Tesla. It's what I want, so if I look at it every day, I know and I remember that's what I want. It feels more tangible and I want to achieve that. If it's not in front of me every single day, there's a chance that I'll forget what I want and move on to something else. And that's okay. But at the same time, it's always important to be dedicated. For example, we can use photos of family on vacation to remind us of good experiences that we want to continue in the future. Other examples, we could have pictures of homes, whatever we truly want in life. Now, maybe you want, like I do, to be able to find opportunities to serve others, whether that be monetarily or just with your time. Having things that remind you of that goal will help you to achieve that goal. The last example is that I want to remind myself every day that I want more knowledge, and so I surround myself with books that I've read, books that I need to read, and this helps me remember that I need to study, I need to learn more. It's a good constant reminder. And in the event I fail or I don't achieve my goal, to strip it away from myself. You see, becoming used to a certain lifestyle, people tend to be afraid of losing that lifestyle and they will move like crazy to not lose something that they already have. On the other side, if it's something you've never experienced, you could assume that your life will continue without having that, and you'll potentially have less motivation. I don't have the power to give myself a house and then to take it away, so visualizing it every day is my best option. Step number 1 should have been to identify a specific property that I want to purchase and use those photos and the idea of achieving this specific goal to motivate me towards success. Finding a property like this should be pretty easy because it's something I do on a daily basis. All right, let's get started. We're gonna hop on the computer. Okay, so we're here at the computer. I have already opened up a page that I typically use. I'm going to be following a process. Actually, let me open this up. This is a checklist that I made. I'm going to be using it to go through this process. You can gain access to it following the link in the description. I do ask your email. Nothing's free in this life. I hope you don't mind. Anyway, if you want access to this, you could probably just take a screenshot of it, but it's easier to use like a PDF. The email just allows me to stay in contact with you about updates and things like that. I always start in the same way. I define what I want. First of all, your budget is very important to prioritize. It's our wants and our needs. We need to define what those are before we get started on looking, or else we will waste a lot of time looking at all these different properties. And so since I look at them frequently, it's good to know what my criteria are. Okay, so I've defined them already. These are some suggestions. Like the location is important to start with because of the nature of how these are publicized. But after that, like the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and maybe this house, how spacious that property is, if it's an open floor plan, not as common here. If you want to use it for residence or a vacation rental, or if you know, just there are many different criteria. Whether you want a garden outside, a space like a swimming pool. Anyway, so we're going to be looking at some of these properties. This is what I'm going to be using. We're probably just going to start with define your villa and move into step 2, and that's all we'll have time for today, but we'll cover these other ones in the future. So step 2 for the property hunt would be to actually search on the page of each province and each basically every jurisdiction that has auctions for sale. In the U.S., it's controlled by title companies or managed by title companies. Here it's managed by the court. And so you will enter each website. You find which one based on what location you want to stay in, to live in, to vacation in. And then you will start searching based on these criteria that you just assigned when you were defining the villa. Okay? So we're going to leave it at that. We're going to go ahead and do it. So we're going to hop in already. And I've entered some information. I started with my budget, okay? I used to always go for anything less than 50,000. Right now, I am searching from a range of 100,000 to 250,000, okay? And these are euros, not dollars. Other options I can choose, like location, it means where. So that's like the city. If you start typing, it'll start filtering it out. One of the fun ways to do it is to also start by going through and looking visually and picking the ones you like, opening a new tab, and then going back and looking at them in a minute. So looking at what I have, it says I have 29 results, and I typically search in my neighborhood to see what's new because it's what I'm more familiar with. Things that stand out to me, because I don't want an apartment complex. I literally just want an independent villa. I do like the look of this. It doesn't really, I don't understand what it does. Is a residential villa, so I'm gonna take this one. I know where San Calabano is, so I'm gonna open that there. I'll be there in a minute. And so I'm gonna go through and I'm just going to list off a few things. Oh, that one looks interesting. See, this one is a ownership of a 4-family villa, so 4-plex. So let's open it. It's basically 1/4 of the property probably. My goal is to have you subscribe and like this video. Actually, it's to start looking through the properties, scan through them, looking for properties visually, and then to select a few based on the description, looking for the size and other things that fit my criteria. I've gone through and pulled out a few already, so let's take a look at them. Let's brush through them. The auction's in December. The price is at $190. Actually, the price, there's a discount right now of a 25%, so I can offer $143 if I wanted to. I'm looking for the size. It says the surface area is 800 square meters, and I actually looked it up a second ago. The size is actually about 200 square meters. So 500 square meters of garden courtyard space and 200 square meters of property, so 2,300 square feet. It does have a good visual appeal, and that's where I usually start. I do like to know where they are located. I know this community is nearby. It's a little farther away from Milan than I am, and I was hoping to get closer. The size is okay. Let's pop into the other one. This one's in Turat. This is a 360 square meter villa, so it's bigger. The price is about the same. The auction's in November. This one was in December. So we're looking about the same time period. I already searched where it is. I didn't know where it was before. It's actually closer to one of the principal airports near Switzerland's border. Como is a very popular area. And so between Milan and Como, more people live here because Switzerland has better pay than Italy right now. And people can live in Italy at lower costs and work in Switzerland at higher salaries. So those are two interesting properties. Now, I'm not really completely satisfied. I'm gonna pop in and see if I can find something else. Back to the top. I'm gonna adjust this, and I'm going to look at these properties. Okay, this is the same one here. I scroll down and wait a second. Okay, do you see this? Hold on, I gotta go. Hey guys, I'm in my car right now. I saw that property, and I have to explain real quick. I'm about to go, and I'm gonna look at the property. A lot of that was for dramatic effect, but this is a property I knew about before, and I thought it was gone. I thought someone bought it like pre-auction, and so I got really excited, honestly, when I saw that for the first time. And I'm gonna go check it out right now because I believe that the property is empty. I have not gone over there yet. I thought this was a good opportunity to check out the community. I know the community. I actually have a friend that lives in that community. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute, but we're gonna go and check it out. All right, I just wanted you to check out what the road I took to get there to this community was like. This is common. It's a road. It's literally a 2-lane road, and you'll see here in a second what I mean. You see that car coming? I always get thanks for stopping. All right, we're here. Let's go check it out. All right, I have to be quick. It just started raining. We're right outside right now, and I can give you a glimpse of it here in a second. But so we're talking about buying this for ourselves personally, but also turning it into an investment in the end. Like, we'll purchase it, and over time we'll renovate it. It is huge. It's like literally 6,000 square feet of property for about 200,000 euros. And I mean, prices are low here, but you have to see this. Ready? I'm gonna face backwards here. Okay, so it's newer than anything that we've invested in so far. Its property is unmaintained. It's brick on. It's got a brick fence around it. So this is the front yard. You can see they definitely had some character when they were putting it together. There is a car in the background. I don't know how many people are living here now, but there are 2 cars here. It's all shut up. I do see a window that's slightly open, but I did want to talk about pros and cons right now about this community. For example, it's you can see that we're in the fields. So pros and cons, talking about it as a personal investment. I can't enter it. You can see it in the background. It was more like me just wanting to see the community. I've actually seen this community before. I'm going to link in the description. I did a video about a house just about 6 months ago. I don't know. It's been a while, I guess. Maybe almost 9 months ago, of an auction that was just nearby. It was I don't remember a lot about it. I need to go look it up. But it was a really nice villa, and I was interested because it was near my friend's house. We didn't participate because the price, I was waiting for it to drop, and in the end we just changed strategies. Instead of buying one villa and just living in that villa and selling that villa, we're actually are focusing on dividing the property, and this property is just huge. You can see behind me, you can see that there's a larger section on the left and then a section on the right. That's the one entire house, upstairs and downstairs. And inside, the pictures, they had a lot of character, a lot of personality putting it together. The pink and white bathroom, and then there's a blue and white bathroom. There's this big royal staircase right there in that main section. So they have like a hobby room, which includes like a hot tub, and there's a swimming pool in the back, 2-car garage. So minimum I could split it into 2 properties, each costing 100,000, that were each over to almost 3,000 square feet, and that's just a little bit ridiculous from what I am used to. I like that it's not surrounded by a lot. I mean, it's got open air, open spaces. It's nearby a main city called Lodi. And the community itself, we're going to talk about pros and cons of the investment itself. Basically, the vicinity to the autostrada, or the main toll road that takes you to Milano, was a really nice feature. The vicinity to actually the church we attend, if we live there personally, is a big plus. It's like only 5 minutes away. And actually the vicinity to my friend's house is like 1 minute away by car, 5 minutes by walking. So that's really exciting. It's interesting that it's so big. It has a pool. It's a big upgrade compared to what we're in. We have a house that was built in like 1978 right now, and this one was definitely built in like the last 20 years as opposed to the last 50 years. So cons, it's farther from my wife's work, so it'd be harder to move here and have her travel using the buses as she's been doing. She would have to learn to drive through Milan, no, to Milan at least. She could do it, she just doesn't want to. The price is definitely higher than typical for what we're used to, but it's actually a good thing. It's always nice to stretch your boundaries and not stretch them too much, but we're definitely going to be stretching a little bit in regards to, but there's benefits that come with that. The quality, the technology involved in the construction is a bonus. It is raining all over me right now, but it's worth it. Okay, so anyway, some investment pros and cons. It's divisible. I can divide it into 2, maybe 3 or 4, depending on the rules of the community. 2 for sure. 3 or 4 they would each be about 100 square meters still, which is about typical. It's actually kind of large in some areas. It's one house, so I don't have to deal with a condominium. I actually have to probably set up a small condominium, but they could manage it themselves. They don't need. It's not large enough. They would need an external manager. The quality is really nice. The condition is pretty good. It looks like they did some remodeling. There was some missing stone on the side of it, but nothing too extreme. Now, one of the cons is that if I wanted to upgrade the bathrooms, they probably are huge, and it would be a little bit costly to cover the expenses for that. As far as risks go, there could be people riding bikes out in the rain. As far as risks go, there'd be a larger mortgage to cover. But the mortgage is not that, it's like $500-600. I've covered much more in America, a house that was a lot smaller. So the risk is dependent. The value outweighs the risk potentially. We just have to appraise it better. So one of the risks is that we don't get approval to divide the property. We need to check with the community first. So that'll be definitely one of the things to do first before proceeding with this kind of an investment. It is a smaller community. I've done some research already about the rental rates. It had a range. Like from where I live, the average was 5.9 euros per square meter. Here the rental would be anywhere between 5.35 to 10.67, and so the average is probably a lot higher, like 8 per square meter, because it's closer to the city. It probably has more services as far as the city goes, and as far as the level and the quality for the rental is a lot higher. So dividing it into chunks and renting them out would actually be a really good strategy for a buy and hold, and especially a buy, hold, and the BRRRR method like we're shooting for. We're doing it once, but the goal is to do it again and again and again, and this would put us perfectly in that position of being able to create value, taking one property that's undervalued and dividing it into 2, 3, 4 units and creating extra value there. This property has so much potential for dividing it as an investment, because even though there's some risk, we can control the risk by asking questions from the community, and there's definitely a lot of potential. Anyway, it's getting way too wet out here. I pretty much wrapped it up. I just wanted to share this with you. I got really excited, so I thought I'd run over here even in the rain. I need to change my clothes. This is what I built, the calculator I built for the BRRRR method that I'm going to be using. This is something that I use to compare situations with my previous properties, my current property. I've actually just copied this and I'm using it to get a basic idea of how much it will cost. I entered in the base price of that property, $199,687 is the base price of what can be offered. So the price is about $50,000 higher than the other properties we looked at. This property is just huge. Like I said before, I thought it was gone. I didn't think I'd even have a chance at it. The location's pretty decent. Again, not in the location I'd hoped for, because there is one that I'm keeping my eye on that's just south of Milan by 5-10 minutes. You're there on the outside edge. This one, on the other hand, would be more like 25-30 minutes. But the property is big, and the point is that I'm trying to shoot for splitting the property. I believe I can do it at least 2 times. I think I could do it split it into a 4-plex, and that would be amazing. So that's the goal. The winning bid, $199,687. That's assuming I was the only one there, or anyone else that came didn't want to raise the price, and I was the first one to submit an application. There are taxes involved when you purchase these properties. When you purchase it for yourself, like I intend to do, the tax is only 2%, not 9%. So I'd save 7%. I'd be saving 14,258 euros just by, it says dollars, it's euros, by purchasing it as my residence. Okay, I've done some calculations already on most things, but moving down, the total cost would be about 210. If I got a mortgage of 80% of that, and it's not of the total cost, it's the way the auction works, it's the winning bid, 199,000. I'd get a loan for 159,750, and I'd have to have 50,000 to invest. So it's not like I can just say, okay, here's 20%, give me 80%. It's here's 20% plus whatever's left over after the difference of the calculation. So it'd be 50,000 as opposed to 40,000. So it's like I'm leveraging 75% of the property. Okay. Now, looking at the mortgage situation, the rates, I actually did a comparison already. I found a bank. The bank I'm currently using is offering 1.12% fixed. The rates are low here. The period being 30 years, and 522 euros a total payment per month. So for 522 euros, I could have a property that's like almost 6,000 square feet and divide it into 4 properties. This is my intention. I'm really excited to see if it works. Now, I'm trying to practice pulling out the emotion and doing everything with logic to do everything correctly by the book so I don't get too attached. But it is also going to be my personal home for a period of time. And I definitely am looking forward to house hacking if I can justify it. This property seems pretty attractive, right? I'm going to move over to the current state over here. Total potential value. This is the auction listed as the value, 356,000. It puts it at a 40% discount of what it claims to be worth. Now, looking at that, I know that a lot of these properties pop all the way down to a 60% discount. Like you can buy it for 40 cents on the dollar a lot of the time. But usually when it gets to that point, everybody's going for it. If I can split this thing into 4, it puts it at 50,000 each, which is equivalent to what I'm paying now for a property I have to renovate. Okay, and so the idea is that 52,000, and I don't have to put a lot of money into dividing it. Even putting 25,000 to split it would be 58,000, and I can do that over time since it's going to be my principal home. So every single time I get it divided, I can rent it to somebody. This is the idea, right? So the BRRRR method, pretty excited about this. This is step 1 of the BRRRR method action plan, talking about what we can do to take what we have, take some cash out. And I guess the idea is, you see, I need 50,000. And if I can go to these 2 apartments over here that I've just invested about 22,000, the best situation would be to try to get 50,000 from the apartments over there, that are just nearby. and use that money to purchase this property, and with a mortgage, I can start renting the property I live in now that will cover mortgage payment completely. I still gain positive cash flow from these apartments, even though it's a little bit less what I have now. Plus, I can buy this new giant property that potentially can create at least one, if not three other sources of income. Using that exact same cash already invested and and using it to purchase something I can split so many times would be ideal. It is ideal. If I can divide the space into like 100 square meter apartments, it would be 850 euros a month. So 3 times 850, 2,550 extra per month. Anyway, so this is ideal. I'm excited, and I was happy that you're here to witness this. Like I said, I'm excited to have this new motivation. The deadline for this is mid-December, so obviously we have some work to do getting evaluations of the properties. Now I have to say something. Thanks to all of you who have watched this video all the way through. If you can take a moment and write down in the comments that you made it all the way through so I can become your biggest fan. Thank you for being one of mine. Remember to share this video with real estate loving, like-minded people. We will definitely have more videos like it coming up. When I say we, I mean you and myself. I'm a lone wolf, and I don't have a stage crew behind me doing everything. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next video.